You've heard of Sunday Night Football on NBC. Now get ready for Sunday Night NASCAR from the Daytona 500. The biggest race of the year. Originally supposed to go off about 5.5, 6 hours ago. But rain happened and has pushed the start of the race past the 6 o'clock hour. Rain did stop. Track is looking dry like it's supposed to look. They are wrapping up driver introductions, and here is a pre-race concert taped earlier where Daiki Kasho performed his song from Gran Turismo 6. If you are a fan of the Gran Turismo franchise, please pick up Gran Turismo Sport for PS4, or go on my Spotify and look up my Spotify account and find any playlist with a Gran Turismo 6 label. The big official unanimous playlist. Or if you want to go for a specific genre, there are several genres. There's a hip hop genre. It's more R&B than anything. There's a hip rap genre. There's a West Coast genre. There's a rock genre. There's a heavy metal genre. There's a classic rock genre for you oldies, and there's everything else. Here is a live concert taped earlier this evening with Daiki Kasho performing his song from Gran Turismo 6, All My Life. Mic drop. I don't know where station is. I feel I must carry on so that I can justify my everything. Past is what will make us true. Be alright, 'cause I'll be me. 'Cause I know that I'll prove myself. And I'll be standing here. All my life, I'll leave so wrong. This is the path I have to take. Can't go back to who I was. This is my time to break away. I've seen this 1,000 times. Don't know who else I can't trust anymore. Betrayed countless times till now. I will not let anyone get in my way. Believe in what my heart is telling me. I can't let my mind take control till the end of time. I must go on. The end, I will be standing here. All my life, I've been so wrong. This is the path I have to take. Can't go back to who I was. This is my time to break away. These fans came in here, most of these fans have been here since, Tuesday this week, camping out for the Daytona 500 in the nearby campgrounds and in the infield. And they have been treated to some fairly exciting racing, to be perfectly honest. The dual race one had a 3-wide photo finish. The Budweiser shootout turned into more of a nutrition race than an actual race. And with this new weather change, everybody had these cars set up to run in the day, but with the rain moving through and pushing the start of this race to tonight, do you think it's going to play any havoc on the drivers' handlings? Oh, absolutely. Typically during the day, we had a couple of day practices during the week. Everybody was noticing how slick it was. Now everybody's running up on the top. Now at night, the track's going to be a lot more grippy. You're going to see a lot of guys moving up and down, up and around the field, up and around the track, getting whatever run they can. And when you move around at a restricted plate track, you got to be careful of who's around you. Otherwise, you're just going to lead to a big wreck.
And you look at some of the shots, and they're nuts. I mean, especially when high tide came in. I can't imagine what it was like to race back then. You'd see guys barrel off into the corner and into these big old ruts and slam into about 30 parked cars that have already crashed up in that corner.
Today, there are black and white reminders of the start of something small and simple.
Into these big old ruts.
Daring drivers crossing a line in the sand.
Every generation has people that you look back on and think, what the hell were they doing?
Today, a new line is drawn. The sport of NASCAR racing is bigger, bolder, more colorful and competitive than ever before. But the promise and the principle remain the same.
You beat the best at their best on the biggest stage.
Dale Earnhardt in his 20th try.
The biggest motivator for me is what's happened here in advance.
February means renewed excitement and another chance for each challenger. But never before have things looked quite like this.
When I drive through the tunnel in February, I know then that we're not just starting a new season. This is another opportunity to try to win another Daytona 500.
One thing that has not changed, the year's most magnificent moment is just 500 miles away. Michael Walker is going to win.
The checkered flag is more a load off your shoulders. I've always been, thank goodness, I don't have to go another lap. I don't know if I could have done it another lap.
Earnhardt was so close here for so many years and won all the other races here, but just missed the Daytona 500. Obviously, you can see in his eyes when he won, it was way different than most other races that he won.
There's been times when I've said, boys, my race, done deal. And I get past,
I finished second in the Daytona 500 once, and I don't even remember when that was. But I can tell you, if I'd have won it, I'd know when that was.
It was all built on a foundation of sand. Today, the pageantry, patriotism, pride, and power of the great American race returns.
All the time and all the energy is put into this one race. Prestige of the Daytona 500 is just a race everybody wants to win.
Only a select few drivers that win that championship, and there's only a select few that win the 500, and it's harder to win the 500
following race leader Michael Waltrip.
There isn't an almost or close. It's just wins. The pressure is just unbelievable. It's probably the only race all year long that I actually get butterflies before the race starts.
The Daytona 500, where the only colors that really matter are still black and white. Cale hits him. He slides. Winning two Daytona 500 would be two guys. The one prize that has eluded him. NBC Sports present.
Ever since these fans walked in here at 6 this morning, when these gates opened, the electricity hasn't really left this Daytona 500. Sitting through the long rain into the night. Tonight, you're going to see these sparks shooting out of these 34 machines, 200 miles an hour, inches apart, each trying to seize the opportunity to join history. The starting grid, next on NBC.
It's summertime, and there's never been a better time to join America Online.
I plan all my vacations on AOL.
I use AOL to get driving directions.
Email is fast, it's easy.
And now, with the AOL Mobile Communicator, you can send and receive instant messages and email while away from your computer.
Wherever I go, I stay connected with everyone in my life. It's really easy to stay in touch.
To order, go to AOL keyword Mobile Communicator or call 1-800-4ONLINE. America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's number one.
NBC's coverage of the Daytona 500 is brought to you by AOL. So easy to use. No wonder it's the number one internet provider. Get AOL today. See these 34 engines roaring to life here under the lights tonight for the Daytona 500. While we're here, let's take a look at your starting lineup. Row 1, we have the Jimmy John Chevrolet and the Napa Chevrolet. Beginning today from row 2, we have the Advocare. Tonight from row 2, we have the Advocare Ford and the Farmers Insurance Chevrolet. Beginning from row 3, we have the Nationwide Insurance Chevrolet and the Smithfield Ford. Starting tonight from row 4, we have the Lilly Diabetes Ford and the Nature's Bakery Chevrolet. Beginning from row 5 tonight, we have the White Deuce Ford and the McDonald's Mac Tonight Chevrolet. Starting this afternoon from row 6, we have the Caterpillar Chevrolet and the Fastenal Ford. Starting from row 7, we have the Motorcraft Ford and the DeWalt Power Tools Toyota. And the offseason, DeWalt signed on as the new primary sponsor for the 20. As Dollar General stepped away in the offseason after Atlanta. Announced they were stepping away in the offseason after Atlanta. Beginning today from row number 9, we have row number 8, we have the 55 car and the Target Credit One Bank Chevrolet. Starting tonight from row 9, we have the Pennzoil Ford and the Hausaw Nation Chevrolet. Beginning tonight from row 10, we have the Cheerios Chevrolet 33 car and the 15 car. Here we have the 56 car and the Dow Chemicals Chevrolet. Beginning from row 12, we have the 9 car and the 83 car. Starting this out tonight from row 13, we have the Mobile One Chevrolet and the M&M's Toyota. Beginning from row 14 are the last few cars that have begun this race that weren't in backup cars. We have 6 going to the back for today's race. We have the 25 car and the 29 car. Now we get into backup land. We have the Menards Richmond Water Heater Chevrolet and the Hot Wheels Chevrolet. Starting from row 16, we have the Lowe's Chevrolet and the Furniture Row Toyota. And starting from the rear of the field, we have the FedEx Express Toyota and the Aris Internet Modems Toyota. This race is 18 laps. Tonight, here as we look at our 6 onboard cameras, you have the Dow Chemical Chevrolet of Jonathan Morrison starting in the 22nd spot. Jacob Tube starting outside pole. Rookie Joseph Lombard rolling off tonight in 6th. Brendan Little starting 7th. Zach Speed starting all the way back in 14th. In the DeWalt Power Tools on board. Peyton Beasley starting tonight in 3rd. Announcing that. And here is your Daytona 500 pole sitter with our Chevrolet on board. The Jimmy John's Chevrolet of Dylan Murway. 18 laps, 34 cars, and what is the driver thinking as this as the lights are out on the C7 on the new Corvette Stingray? They have a lot of butterflies in their stomach right now. These drivers are going through their last talks with their crew chief, telling them to go out and have a fun race tonight. It's going to be wild under the lights. Seeing these 34 machines fight for the Harley J Earl Trophy. It's going to be an entertaining battle for sure. It rained earlier this afternoon, but these fans came back, and they are in the stands, and these fans are more loyal to NASCAR than ever before. The 5th season of NASCAR Ihop Cup Series racing, the first points-paying race of the year. Pace car making the dive to pit road in front of a sellout crowd tonight. It's going to be a wild one, sparks flying. And we are green as Season 5 is officially underway. Down the new Daytona Rising Super Stretch using our unique highway overpass style camera for this season in our NBC broadcast starting later this year at Kansas. You can see these cars coming straight at you at a full rate of speed. Seeing these as Jacob Tube leads the field of 34 around off 3 and 4. As he is going to be the first person to lead the first lap of the season here at Daytona. A little bit of 3-wide racing near the back of the pack. See the 18, the 78, and the 19 all forming one big old line. Towards the back of this group, as the 5 is trying to get a run on the... Meanwhile, up front, looks like the 5 got a pretty big run towards the back up front. Using the side draft, taking advantage of the side draft off of these cars. And he's going to try to go to the lead. He's going for it. He doesn't really have much help. Though. He does. Oh, wow. He might actually pull it off. But the question is, can he keep it? With this new style of pack racing, these drivers obviously, we're told the drivers meeting that two-car tandem racing is discouraged, but it's not outright banned, unlike in the Monster Energy Cup Series. As you see, the 24 and 4, they are able to link up and keep the 5, push the 5 back. Act quickly, not without much effort, as the 5 is going to tuck in right behind the 4 and the 24 here at the front. Well, if he can get going quick enough before he gets caught by this massive group behind him. You see the 3 on the outside. On board with 3 of Jonathan Morrison. New Dow Chemicals for 2018. Our new primary sponsor for 2018. Dow. As Bass Pro scales back its sponsorship significantly on the 3 car. To just 6 races this year. Instead of carrying the whole load. And right here, you see a new unique camera that we have for our NBC broadcast that is going to be shown later this year at Kansas. Is the new 360 camera that is put on these cars. You see right here in this group, when you're 3 wide, got 2 guys in the bottom. As you look on the 3 car. Look at how close he is to the 15. These 34 drivers are the best in the world because they're able to do this kind of stuff, drive together in a big group closer than most people even dare to park in the mall. See on the left side, look at how close the 15 is to the 3 car. Then you see the 18 right on the back bumper. In packs like this, there is virtually no room for error. Error is the 41 car. Oh, almost came up in front of the 3. Luckily, he was able to gather things up. I mean, he was sideways in this group. As you see right here, 15 was shoving him pretty hard, too. Got loose. He thought he could clear him or come down and try to block him, but the momentum the middle lane had, especially with the 33 behind and behind the 15 and the 3 behind the 18. I mean, that would not have gone well. There would have been easily a wreck. They would have easily wrecked. As you look up towards the front, you're on board with the 24. Oh, trouble! There they go. Oh, wow! Is it the big one? Oh my! Brendan Little is in it. Joseph Lombard is in it. And oh, wow. Who's not in this wreck? Look at this. The 20 is in it. Oh, the 6. 6 car. Came in there late. Hard. 16 across the inside wall. More cars continue to pile up. You see the 55, the 22. Oh, wow, they're really beginning to wad up here. a multi-car pileup. Oh, wow, they're done wrecking here. A multi-car pileup has started off turn 2 here at Daytona, and you have a lot of cars involved in this one. There's the 16 of Brendan Little down the inside wall. 10 of Blake Dillon. He's there. 55 of Jake Basinger. 22 of Zox Moon. A couple of these guys came in there, like the 6. He couldn't... The 6 car came in there so fast, he couldn't even see where he was going. And just... Or the 17 came in there so fast and just got drilled by the 6. See Zach Speed driving away. The 31, 20. A lot of these cars have some pretty significant damage. Wow, I see 9 cars that were in front of this wreck coming through 3 and 4. Well, technically 7 were in front of this, truly in front of this accident. Because we got a lot of cars involved in the first big crash of the year. In fact, they're actually going to stop the field down towards turn number 1 while drivers bring their cars to pit road. And a few of them bring it to the garage. And some of these guys can't even continue. Basically, this all started when the 88 was trying to push the 6 sideways. The 43 checked up. Then you got cars going basically all over the place. And how about the 2? Even though he may have gotten some front end damage from hitting the 16, the 2 car did an amazing job to not get torn up in this wreck. Torn up like he was. Even though he basically pushed the 16 through. Saw the 16, clipped it, and then the 16 basically spun towards the inside wall. As you see the 22 and the 16, the 21 down on pit road. If you're watching this at home, folks, get out your pencils because there is a lot of cars torn up from this. Well, if you're counting the 88 who triggered this in the 2 car that got hooked, you're looking at close to half the field wrecked. And the reason there were guys behind that couldn't see, and they all piled in too. Look at that. You got the 20. The 7 is down here. He's on pit road getting repairs done to his car. The 31 and the 20 are also down here. The 55 has made the right turn into the garage. 25, the 15, the 33 is still down here on the inside wall. He took a big lick. So did the 25 and the 9 and the 15. There were some guys that took some big hits in this wreck. I tell you what. So while we're counting cars here, numerous cars. And I want to emphasize numerous cars. About easily 9 of them are done because of either hitting the grass or running into each other, especially the 17. There's 4, 8, 12, 4, 8, 12, 18 cars. So if you count the 88 and the 2 who only got light damage in this wreck, like super light, they can continue. These guys they are fine. So 18 cars. If you don't count them, there's 16. And of the 16, 9 are out. 8 are going to continue. Are able to continue. Somehow. And unlike NASCAR's BS crash clock rule, you can be in the garage and come out later in this race and still be a factor. See, the car's new rule during the red flag, drivers cannot. This is a firm rule stated in the offseason. Drivers cannot, well, technically, anyways, update on the cars out of the race. The 55 he's got a busted oil cooler. He's done. I mean, wow. So make that 7 cars able to continue from that wreck. 10 cars taken out early here at Daytona, including Alvin Alonso, Peyton Beasley, rookie Joseph Lombard, Grayson Alcedo taken out, Matthew Powell, Blake Dillon, Noah Spalding took quite the shot. A lot of the cars behind this group took a whale of a lick. To the inside, especially the 15 and the 25. Well, the 25 more so. He hit it such a tough angle. You see him on the wrecker going to the garage. Wow, look at how messed up how destroyed his front end is. I mean, look at that. The wheel, the left front is basically pushed up because of how hard he hit. The 2 and the 88 are able to repair their cars. Well, the 88 didn't really start the wreck, but, well, he started the wreck because he turned the 6. Turned the 6 sideways and basically in front of traffic. And then everybody piled up. But I mean, look at this. You got some of the cars behind him that spun, like the 33 and the 9. The group behind him all basically piled in a inside wall. Thank God for safer barriers. But wow, hard hits. 34 cars started this race. 24 are still on track. And we are not even 5 laps in. Are still on track. The 88 and the 2 did get repairs to their cars. In fact, the 88 and the 2, they had light damage. They're fine. We'll be back for a restart in a moment. You're watching the Daytona 500 on NBC. Wow. Definitely an interesting, tough way for 10 guys to end the race. But you know, that's just the way things go in Daytona sometimes. Here we go for the restart. Right, ready? All right. Ready. All right, I'll roll and protect. Good job. 24's on him pretty good. On you tight. Still on. Still on. Still on you tight. We are on lap 6 of 18 here in the Daytona 500. And I mean, wow. As we're going down the backstretch with a field of many, much smaller cars. 18 cars wrecking in the first accident. An update: Joseph Lombard has retired from the race since he couldn't drive back. He is done. As the 20 is Zach Speed, as you notice, he really wanted to pull out, get away from all the chaos up ahead. As you see that he held up the 30. He wanted to get the 31 and a drafting partner with him, so he can wait out the chaos. Hopefully some of these guys start calming down. Let's look at some radio communications from the 20 camp. Hey, Zach, do me a favor, drop back, please. I just want you to wait this group out. Right now, I think everybody's going to be settled down. Just I wouldn't really be sure, to be perfectly honest, because you know how things got last season in these restrictor plate races. I mean, everybody and their mother was wrecked each other. The 31 is actually just outside this path. The 20 is currently laying off. He was part of the last wreck. And if you want to look towards this group, just look at how much tape is used in this group. Is used right now. There's just... It's basically a lot of the cars, like especially the 22, the 16, and the 20, they look like basically paper mache dolls just taped together and like sewing up a teddy bear. It looks like. Zoe's been running in the 20th position with the 16 pushing her. Brendan Little, remember, this is fourth season with the Cup Series and the fourth season with the 16 team. Lily Diabetes has signed on as the new primary for Brendan this year. As these guys are laying back, as the field is pretty much split into packs of individual groups, the 7 and the 31 have decided to pull off and follow the Hendrick teammates, the 88 and the 48. Just, strictly for teammate wise, this is a good idea when you really want to get up with your teammate and draft. At the same time, you got to be. There's virtually no way to hide at these restrictor plate races. You can hide all you want, honestly. But when it comes down to it, it's just up to luck. There's a pack of 6 cars down the backstretch. The group of 18 up front has mostly been side by side. There's been moments of almost 3 wide racing. As you see, this group is currently side by side, but when you're side by side, there's a lot of drag that slows your car down. Slows your car down. In a weird way, these guys keep running side by side, just further momentum for the 24 to pull away. As you see, the 83 though, he is. I want to watch the 83. Just watch him here. He's been shoving that at 18 car, but there's just no progress. There's virtually not a lot of progress. Not a lot of progress is currently being made. You can't push in the corners, otherwise there's just going to be a wreck. There's going to be some cars wrecking. You see right here, the 83 let off, but the 29 ran into him. Yep. I don't know if these cars are going to be getting squirrelier. I mean, looks like it. Whoa, 2 car. 18 sideways into the 3. And the caution is out. Ready? Big wreck. Back on the bottom. Mark on the bottom. On the bottom. On the bottom. On the bottom. Caution's out. Caution's out. Caution's out, guys. Caution's out. Get out of the throttle. Stay in it. Stay in it. Stay in it, please. Yellow flag number 2 on the night. And it began when the 83 was pushed sideways into the 2. And look at the damage to the 3 car. I'm sorry, into the 3. I'm sorry. Into the 3 of Jonathan Morrison, 5th season. And definitely not the way he wanted to have his Daytona 500 go. I mean, last year he had a violent crash coming to the checkers. Being pushed sideways by the 5. Just for the line. Then the 18 has driven away. He is driving away. How bad is it? Steering wheel's knocked out of position, guys. Body wise, we're fine. Just tell the 83 he's a damn dumbass for pushing us like that. The 3, Jonathan Morrison is pulling down pit lane. There you see the 2 car. The 3 is down pit road. The 18 is also pulling down next to him as well. While we're under caution and getting some of this cleaned up, make sure you Oh god. Here it takes the race. Next Sunday, Fox takes over at Las Vegas. Cards begins at 4 p.m. Eastern with the Singular Wireless pre-race show, and then Vegas, Fox, and FX have NASCAR all the way up till Daytona. And then next week at Kansas is when NBC and TNT comes back, and we take you all the way to the checkers. Thing to note, an update to note on the schedule from Talladega all the way to Atlanta. You have start time races with start times at 2 or later. After Dover. Definitely a lot of damage to the 18. I mean, look, they're trying to square out the fender. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of damage. We're done. Huh. Definitely a lot of damage to the 3 as you see how bandaged the 3 was. The 3 car is. He's coming off of turn 4 down the back to rejoin the field of now 23 cars. There are a couple cars coming out of the garage. The one car is coming out, and so is the 9 and the 10. Actually, the 18 can keep going. Oh, it's amazing that at Daytona, you have to be really lucky to have 2 cars get together like that and keep going. Lap 8 and 1 lap until the halfway bonus here at Daytona. This time, let's scan all 43 and listen to audio of the 4 of Dylan Murway and Rod Nietzsche and spotter Timmy Hill. All right, yep, 41 behind you, 41 behind you. All right, ready, green. Let's go. All right, stay with the 24. 24 is pretty fast. Try to stay with him. With him here. Stay with it, boys. Stay with it. Stay with it, guys. Stay with it. All right. On you tight. Still on you. Still with him. Still with it. Still with him. Still there. Five's got a strong car. You got to separate them. Right now. All right. Still there. Still there. Still there. Still there. Still there. All right. Still there. On you tight. You got help from the 42. All right, 42 is going to try to go 3 wide. 42 is going to try to go 3 wide behind you. 42 going 3 wide. 42 is going 3 wide. 42 is going to try to go 3 wide, but I don't really see much help from him unless the 88 drops back. All right, you're good. You're good. Still there. Still there. Just stay with 41. You see, here at Daytona, you have to really be up on your game, especially going down the backstretch, because you are not really near much in the way of vision, especially with how far the backstretch is from the tri-oval. This place is not the best for spotting. As you see, the field is 24, well, 24 and 4 laying back. We're forming a 3 wide. They are 3 wide, 3 by 3, all the way through this pack. Caleb Hoffman enjoying a nice run in 7th. He's pushing the 29 at M&M's Cup Series. And now his team announcing later this week they're looking for a new driver. Later at starting at Las Vegas next Sunday. There is 8 laps to go. Oh, and the Daytona 500 now is where the likelihood of more crashing is going to occur. Right now, as you see, everybody is well glued to each other. Oh, there's bumpers right now. Oh, one out of the pack. Couple out of cars spinning out of the pack and in trouble. '48 Nate Sherman, 11 KFC Cups Sports Center Cup Series, 14 KFC Cup Series. On the brakes, lighting his tires up as he just comes up on the track. Here just nips the 21. Caution comes out. Wow. Basically, 2 cars spawn out of the draft, and I'm surprised we didn't only had the few that we did. Because that honestly should have been a good 10 car wreck going into turn 1. I mean, the way the 48 was going, I'm surprised he didn't slam the inside wall, hit the same wall that Busch hit a couple years ago in the Xfinity Series. I'm really, really surprised that he didn't just pound that wall. Jonathan Morrison, how about that? He's hanging on towards the back. He was waiting for this wreck to happen. Amazingly, no other cars were in this. That's something we should be proud of. No other cars got caught up in this crash. However, a good possibility is we might not be done with the crashing. A very good possibility is we might not be done with the crashing. How about the 29 car, honestly? Big shout out to Coco Garcia in his last run with the 29 team before he unfortunately is let go for Vegas. If he wins this is going to be like underdog story. He's restarting in 4th. Jacob Tube, unfortunately, did not get much of a good pit stop. He's going to restart in 8th. Caleb Hoffman is going to restart in 3rd. Nate Sherman, even after spinning out earlier, is going to restart about there. Jonathan Morrison, he's got 2 Richard Childress back teammates in front of him to push. This is gonna be a good race, good battle for the restart. 14. Look at that. 26 cars, and unfortunately, while we're here, we do like to note that Grayson Alcebdo had a problem under caution where his car shut off. Unfortunately, he will not be able to continue. So this means he will not finish. Here to go out and get a little bit more points. Blake Dillon, however, is still rolling just to multiple laps off the pace. While we're here, Hunter Miller, the Daytona 500 champ, is elected the inside lane this time with Caleb Hoffman pushing him, which means the 4. See, he's signaling frantically to let the 29 know to push. Push. Because he doesn't really have a lot of power since he's lower in the standings, and lower in the standings, you don't really get a lot of power in the motors. 6 laps to decide who wins the Daytona 500. Will it be Hunter Miller? Will it be Dylan Murway? It could be any one of these 24 cars that are on the lead lap. Here we go. Oh, 29. Does he get go? Oh, I don't think he got going. Oh, and around goes to 29. Oh, and they're piling up. There they go. Just coming past the start-finish line. Several cars involved in this. The 31 is there. There. Looks like the 2. There's cars spinning all over the place just coming past the start-finish line. And look at the damage here as we come to the caution flag with 6 laps to go. We have officially taken out 5 more cars. And half of these cars didn't even have to get going. And the red flag is immediately displayed because the 29 car, when he got spun, went up into the wall, and then the 41 got spun by the 24 and basically pile drove under him. Luckily, we didn't see any more cars get caught up in this. In fact, they're gonna stop the cars again while we wait out what is our second red of the evening. 30. The 2 doesn't have damage, but he does have plenty of it. The 2 cars we really have to note are the 21.9 and the 41 that got basically turned, and the 41 basically drove right under him. And the way that 29 got up in the air, and you got to feel for Coco Garcia. He's got the window net down. He is out of the car. Frustrated, but out. Five cars involved in this one. We could possibly be seeing a wild attrition race. And of the cars that started, and as you look at how many cars have sustained damage today, quite the list. As you add the past 2 cautions to this list, and the now staggering amount of cars out of this race. The 10 is also elected to decide to retire from this race due to overheating issues. Oh, wow. While we were coming to the red flag, the 10, there's some cars really ran into each other. A couple of them sustained damage. The 56 stopped, the 20 stopped, and the 10, he had no brakes. So while we're here, let's count the cars that are still running. $20. And of the cars that have not been damaged, 9 cars have not sustained damage. There are 14 out of the race. Well, 15 out of the race now. With the 10, obviously, checking up in the back and running into the 20. Who ran into the 56 because he basically ran into 2 parked cars. While we're here, they've brought the caution back out. 15 cars out of the race. 19 are still running. And what are the odds we see more wrecking later tonight? More wrecking in this race. This is our second red flag. Right now, we're going to have 4 laps to go when we restart. There are going to be some desperate people, if you will. Some desperate, desperate people. Here we go. 2 Toyotas on the outside. 3 Chevys. 3 Toyotas outside. 3 Toyotas inside. First, make up the first 3 rows. Here we go. 3, 2, green. Dylan Murray got a big push from the 5. They got to survive 4 more laps around here at Daytona. Knowing how these guys have raced tonight, I think that's going to be a pretty big challenge. Everybody stays dead even going into turn 1. Previous year's champ Dylan Murray getting a big push from the 5. Going into 1. Going into turn 1. Still there. 78 still holds even. Half a car length. All right, clear. Half a car length, guys. Half a car length. Half a car length. All right, still there. Side by side, basically through all the way through this field right now. The 4 can't quite clear the 78. He does here. New leader at Daytona as we come to 3 to go. 3 to go, boys. Three stuck on the outside. Oh, there they go. Going to the tri-oval. Oh, we got a wreck behind him. Around goes the 5 of Hunter Miller, the defending year's Daytona 500 champion. Oh, wow. This is going to be big. Oh. Oh, they wrecked big. Big wreck. Got one car trying to get up on his side. All right, that is Dylan Jacobs, part of the 83. And, oh, wow, big hit for the 5. And he's upside down. Is there anybody left in this race? .22 is in it. Caution flag is out again here at Daytona. It has now become an attrition race. There are going to be a lot of torn up race cars. As you see, the 24, Jacob Tube, window net down on his car. His night is done. And he had a fast car too. He was one of the drivers that led probably the most laps of anyone in this race. The 42, the 16 are driving their cars to pit road. The 19. In fact, is there anybody left that isn't a part of this accident? You see Zoe's Moon. She came to rest. And she destroyed. And I mean destroyed the 5 car. Right now. Who's going to be left? By the way, it is confirmed by NASCAR that the 10 did retire from the race. 42 was told in that situation by NASCAR to be less aggressive with the bumping. That was a bad, bad crash. The 24 is destroyed. The 5 is Hunter Miller has dropped the window net down, but he is not out of the car. Probably taking some time to get himself collected. Zoex Moon has come to rest in turn 1. She is gingerly getting out of the car.
Pretty much, yeah. Yep. Yeah. YouTube for carpool. Yeah. Well, if I worked with you part-time, who up with the carpool? You know, talk together? Yeah.
So, while we're here, we are going to these 4 cars. Yeah, they're done. No question. These 4 cars. Yeah, they're done.
Trying to count how many cars are out of this race. Just wow. We are up to
19 cars. 19 cars out of this race. And, oh yeah, we still got 2 laps. This is going to be a fun race. Fun restart. Red flag has been lifted. And even though the 18 and the 3 were part of the second caution, they could still play a big factor in who decides this Daytona 500, or in what decides it. Is look at this. There's 15 cars. 15 cars still running on the lead lap right now. This is going to be a green-white check overtime restart, and how this works with the new unlimited overtime procedures. All tracks will have this later this year. These drivers will be lined up. They have to make it to the center of the backstretch. If there is a caution before the leader gets to that line, so basically anywhere from this line all the way till here, they will line them up and do it again. If there is a caution after the overtime line, depending on the severity, if just one car spins and is able to drive away, they're not going to wave the yellow. They're going to let them race. But if there is a wreck where they have to rule safety vehicles out, the race will be over. The 78 of WB Network, 2 laps from scoring probably the biggest win of his life. This is going to be a fun restart. Green, white, checkered. Here we go. 48 getting a big push from the 3. They're bringing their cars up to speed again. This is going to be exciting. Be a good restart. Get to the overtime line. Get to the overtime line. Going through the gears. Look at this. There's probably going to be a little bit of moving. There's a little bit of moving further back. The 18 looks like he wanted to bring the 56 to the outside and the 20 to the middle. And now the 78 just needs to mirror drive. He just needs to block like crazy right now. Just keep blocking. Keep on blocking, guys. Just block like crazy. Whoa, look at the 48 down in the bottom. You got force down there. They are after the overtime line. Whatever happens now, happens. I don't know. They're gonna let it stand. Rule from NASCAR. They will let the restart stand. The 48 was forced down. And this means the restart is legal. 3 wide, coming off 4. Dylan Murray barely edges ahead. White flag into the air. This is where the race really begins. Even though this race is basically a whittled down group of 15 cars, this is when the race begins. 78 and 4 leaning on each other into 1. Oh, 78 pushes the 4 high. The 4 may have gotten the wall a little bit. Side by side for the lead as they make their way down the backstretch. Still no clear advantage as they make their way down the super stretch for the final time into 3. The 78 of WB Network just barely gets a push from the 48. Here they come, off of 4. Crash behind the leaders. Never mind, green flag still out. WB Network is going to come off to the final turn into the tri-oval. He wins the Daytona 500. They're crashing. The cars that crashed were the 42, the 16, the 20, 21, and the 11, and the 66 car that got into this accident. Wow. The 42 comes to rest in the grass. The 16 just comes to rest at the start-finish line. The 20 of Zach Speed comes to rest with the 11 wrapped up under him. The 21 drives away, mangled, destroyed, but unhurt. But so far, the spotlights have to be on the 78 of WB Network and his crazy effort to try to keep the field of 34 cars, well, whittled down to 15, and later and later 10 cars. Literally 10 cars came across the finish line. 8 of them, obviously, these are the cars that are near the back trying to snake their way through the mess. 10 of them finished in one piece. And of the cars that did finish in one piece, only 4 cars, well, technically only 5 drivers finished this race in one piece without Nat. We're in a crash. We're not in a crash that finished. And there's 15 that rolled across the line. And by the way, update on Dylan Jacobs, he is being taken to the Halifax Medical Center to be evaluated for possible for evaluation after his flip. And hard hit too. I mean, that was a scary hit. Hit to end the Daytona 5 late in this race. And while we're here, let's just take a nice long look at the list of cars that were in the race's crashes. And by long list, I mean, oh boy. Basically, anybody from the 11 up that finished this race. There you see the WB Network in the 78 winning the Daytona 500. The 48 in second, 4 in third. There you see the results scrolling by on the bottom of your screen. So the 78 gets a free ticket to the playoffs in New Hampshire. There you see the last car, Peyton Beasley, who unfortunately was taken out in some race incidents, and then several big crashes dotted this race. 4 to be exact. One really big one in lap 3. While the 78 waits things out, while we wait, Fox Boys will take over next Sunday at coverage beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Mountain for the running of the Cobalt 400. However, the weekends will start Friday with coverage of the Ihop Cup Series qualifying beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern from Vegas. If you want more NBC TNT coverage, remember to go to NASCAR.com or NBC.com and click on the tab NASCAR. And if you want more NBC TNT coverage, you're going to have to wait till July for that, where we go to Kansas Speedway after the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. We will go to Kansas Speedway after Speedway for the Wounded Warrior 400. See you then.